Sometimes you have to buy some stuff that is not as exciting as your regular art supplies, but that you absolutely need for your art. So let's get into it, see what we have. First things first, you might have seen this on the desk in one of my other videos, rubber cement, because when I did my abstract dog painting, I'll link that up in the corner for you, my block, my very expensive Arches watercolor block came apart, and I have been told that you can use rubber cement to fix that, so I have to try that. It came in a 2-pack. All right, this one is also not terribly exciting as far as creating art, but this is great to put over your alcohol inks and stuff like that. You can also use it over oil, acrylic, and watercolor, it says. It won't yellow, it's acid-free, so on. So here we have Kamar varnish. So speaking of varnish, I went a little bit varnish crazy, so hang on. I have more. I have this here box, Gamvar gloss. So this is what I believe Lisa at Lock Refine Art uses to put over her oil paints. And I did that painting of the bullets for my husband for Father's Day, and I'll link that up here. So this needs to go over that painting, and then I can frame it and give that to him. Next up is the Liquitex gloss varnish, and this is what I got for that bullet painting originally, and then I realized, oh, this probably is just for acrylics. Maybe it could be used for other things, and then I wasn't sure. They had different choices, gloss, satin, matte, and so on, and I think I like gloss, but the good news is I'm pretty sure I can use this over the marabou marbling pieces that I did, and I'll link that video here as well. So lots of videos for you to watch if you haven't seen them yet. So you can right click over those and open them in a new tab, so you don't have to lose this video, but those are fun ones. And this one I could probably also put over those. I have a few more exciting things. Wait, this isn't actually an exciting thing, but I forgot I had this. So I have to include this distilled water in the haul because I got this for the Marabou Easy Marble paint, and again, that's already linked up there. That was such a fun project, and I wanted to try it in distilled water to see if I had better luck because I have really sulfuric water here where I live. We have a gallon of that, and then here's some more fun stuff, okay? And it's all wrapped in this fancy bubble wrap because they are picture frames here. So I'll get these open. These are the frames that I bought for this painting, and I bought all 3 colors that I was interested in because I didn't really know how to decide. If I chose the red one, it would look like this. Of course, these edges would be covered a bit. I do like it a lot. Definitely more rusty. Same difference. This is the one I suspected I might really like, and I almost put this color here as the background where this current white cardstock is. Chose white instead, but really love this turquoise, so this could be cool. I think, yeah, definitely probably overpaid for these frames, but it's glass and all of that. It's $27.99 each frame, and I knew I could do a bunch more paintings in size 9x12, so whichever ones I don't pick, I'm definitely keeping because they are awesome, and we'll use them in other paintings. This is supposed to be whitewashed, and it looks more whitewashed in the camera than I think in person, but a lot of that, the gray wood kind of shows through. So I thought this whitewash one would look awesome, but I think it's just okay. I will probably put this in turquoise. I'm really excited for that. I was hoping the frame and mats had come for my dog painting that I did in my golden retriever, but no such luck. I ordered those back on May 3rd, and they still haven't even shipped them out, so that really stinks. All right, on to some other exciting things. Picked up the Lux Archival Sanded Art Paper from Russian Pencil, and it comes all protected. I'll leave it in this protection. So, Lux Archival Professional Sanded Art Paper by Aliona Nicholson. So this will be fun for colored pencil drawings. I don't do that very often because they take a lot of time and patience, but I do them occasionally, and so it'll be fun to try this paper because apparently it's the bomb, right? And it came free with Middle Phthalo Blue. It's a Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos pencil, free sample of colored pencil powder blender with information about other products and all of that. So I have that to use someday. Like I said, I don't choose colored pencil that often. All right, last thing in this little haul. This is the rendered no show through paper sketchbook, and I got 3 free marker boards with it just when I bought it. I bought it a little while ago, just kept forgetting to show you guys. Here it is now. The paper is really thick. You can do markers on and it won't show through. I kind of found, because I gave my son one at Christmas, that it will swallow up your marker ink pretty quickly. So I'm not sure how much I really want to use like my good expensive markers on it, but it might be really fun for something like Sharpies and maybe some of the black brush pens and stuff like that that we get in all of our art subscription boxes. So I think that it's going to be lovely being able to use both sides of the page, filling up the whole sketchbook. This one's going to get open pretty quickly, but not yet. I have other projects I got to finish first. And I went ahead and decided to show this to you. I bought 2 of these shelves. They came in a 2-pack, so that's how that worked. And I just couldn't pull this off and was too lazy to get scissors. So I have this area right here. This is where my orbital easel sits, and I'll just put these back there. Now it's time to finish up some projects, so let's just get going. All right, here it is in the frame, and I guess it's nice that you can see these because it still looks like a window, but it's kind of a bummer that the way the frame works out, you can't see the border on the bottom and the top because you can on the sides, but still I love it in the frame. It's really nice, and when I find a place in the house, I guess I'm going to keep it for now. I will show you guys what that looks like along with my dog painting when I get that frame. I just realized I forgot to sign it, so I'll have to pull it all back out and sign it. That's fun. Not. One of the next things on my to-do list for the weekend was to get the right amount of paint in my Mission Gold palette. So if you've seen my earlier videos, you know I have mentioned that I only put the tiniest bit of paint in each well because I wasn't sure this is the order that I wanted them in. I did decide, however, that I could live with it because I didn't really want to redo my swatch sheet, and you know, you get used to the way the paint is in your palette, and I think it'll be just fine. So I went ahead and filled them all up. No, not like 100% full, just enough that there's a lot of paint in there and my brush still has room to pull some off to the edge. So it was one project off the list. And such a good feeling to have things checked off. Here is the palette all filled up, at least as full as I would like it. And it's so pretty. I can't wait to get into it and use it. I have a couple other paintings I'm going to do first with the limited palette that I made from this set, but then this one's always available for me to use. I've pulled out all of my work that needs varnished, and I have to decide which one to use. These pieces here would be nice if I could just spray them with this Kamar varnish. We will see. I'm gonna pick one that's maybe not my favorite and spray it. I have to remember to sign them first. It's one thing I tend to forget. And I'm going to spray the cardstock as well. I want it shiny too, so hopefully that works. This one's my favorite. I definitely need to do a test on non-favorites to see, make sure it works okay. I'll have to do that outside, so not sure. I'll just show you the results, what it looks like afterwards. Also on my to-do list is to go through these. I just don't want to pull out more marbling right now. I have a lot on my list to do. So I want to go through these and see if I can't find a way to make them go with the rest of the SmartArt prompts. And those are Boogie and Rapids, because I did this one for Surprise. And I think this one back here for Adventure. I don't remember. I'd have to go look on my Instagram. So check that out if you'd like. See how it's all sticky. Definitely needs varnished. Anyway, so these, I believe these two here are used up, and then maybe in these others I can find Boogie and Rapids. So this one could probably be something for Boogie. Like I see this guy in this one, like maybe it's an animal face because there's the nose and the eye and like big bushy 80s hair maybe, and I don't know, like feather off of a hat. So I bet you with a little bit of creativity I could do this. And this one says allows easy rework. I'm wondering, because it was impossible to use the liners over this, any fine liners. I tried all of them. If you remember, I tried like 10 of my different liners that I have. I have quite a selection, and none of them would really write over this. So maybe if I varnish it, it would let me write over it, and I could pull out this guy a little bit and you know, maybe make that like a disco ball or something and have him boogie in. Maybe this one could be a wrap. I could draw some little pictures in there, people, and yeah, this one could be Rapids. That would be kind of cool. You know, like top view looking down. All right, well, let's just get the show on the road here. Before I bring this one out to spray it with this stuff, I'm gonna put some tape on the back and a little bit of a roll so that if it tries to buckle maybe or blow away. I did have one, if you remember some of my very early videos. I had one that I went out and sprayed with fixative. It was my little emoji devil, dance with the devil kind of SmartArt box, or maybe it was a palette full, I don't remember. Anyway, brought it outside to the porch to spray it with fixative and let it dry out there, and I found it a couple stories down on the ground. I'm gonna try and prevent that with this. Tape it down, then spray it, let it dry outside, and maybe it will still be there this time. It's gonna be a little smarter. When I went to look for the liners that came in the box, I discovered all of the projects I had actually completed and forgotten about. So I've been staring at this for a long time, and yes, I could make it into a raft, but still for rapids, like, okay, you have a raft, but I'm having a hard time with rapids. Plus, I did have this one as the center piece of these, so I was going to frame these together like this, and if I use this one, then obviously I won't have it anymore. So I think I'm gonna keep it as is, even though it's not my favorite piece. I don't know. Plus, I'm not convinced that I can actually make it look like rapids, so I am going to go with my backup plan on this one. I'll cut this weird double exposure side off and just post that as is as rapids because I actually think it's gorgeous. So I don't know, do you guys think this is a cop-out or valid? I'm a little bit in both camps. I still have my boogie one to do, so yeah. We'll do some art and I can sign this. See, this is just regular paper. It's that Stonehenge Legion that they sent with the box, and you can see that this isn't even wanting to write over the top of that. So this is not one I varnished yet. That one is still outside drying. This is rapids. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's zoom you in. Looks like a rapid. Real quick on this. The reason that I am varnishing this one is because, I don't know, hopefully, yeah, see in the camera right there, part of it is glossy and part of it is matte. And I think that's just the way that I mixed the colors together, and it depended on how much Gamsol I used with the markers and diluted them and so on. So I just want it to be all one sheen. That is why I'm varnishing this one. So I'm thinking maybe these oil-based markers aren't really oil, because I did that painting a long time ago. Well, in my life. It feels like a long time ago, right? And yeah, this is smearing all the paint. I don't know if maybe I could just like pour it on, because you know, now that I've kind of got it on, some of it kind of needs to match and go over the rest. This is stuff you use on oil painting, so kind of surprised it's not working on these. And I guess I should have grabbed a little test canvas, because now this painting could be ruined. I mean, I'm probably the only one that will notice the crazy blurring, but still bugs me, you know? Put a lot of effort into something and you want it to be a nice gift, and it must not really be oil paint. Well, I did tell you in a previous video, if you want to know what not to do, just keep watching my videos, right? I've tried the Kamar varnish that is outside drying still, because I put a second coat on that one. And I tried the Gamvar. That was a disaster. We'll see if that painting's recoverable. I'll show you when it dries. So, I figure we might as well try the last one. Now, this is that, again, Easy Marble Paint by Marabou. I have no idea what its base is. This is for acrylic, and I picked a piece that wasn't exactly my favorite, so that if this ruins it, it's no big deal. It's just a trial. I'm gonna be lazy, and instead of getting another container, pour this in first. Just gonna pour it right on. I did warn you guys. Watch me for videos on what not to do. So you probably don't want to do that. I just grabbed one of these cheap foam brushes. I knew that I had them down in my house painting supplies bucket tub thing. Grabbed one of those. So that was too much varnish. Good news is the stuff underneath doesn't appear to be moving much. Maybe I didn't ruin it. There, you see that? The varnish is just pulling away from this. So that is interesting. So yeah, don't use liquid text on the Easy Marabou marble stuff. I'll probably just grab a paper towel and wipe it off and try something different. Maybe that Kamar stuff will work. It looked like it was. Because I just don't learn, and I'm eternally curious. I wiped it off, but I want to try this. Like, what is this stuff? What is this marble stuff that it's so, I don't know, resistant? You can't draw on it. You can't put that acrylic gloss stuff on it. You like my technical terms there? Gloss stuff. I'm just gonna pour it on there again. Kind of went off the side of the bottle. Okay, let's see if this smears it. Try and pour it better. Really, you shouldn't pour. I have, what do you call it? I have little pipette thingies. Oops, that was way too much. Anyway, I have pipette thingies that will pull the product out of the jar, but my cat is sleeping. He's sleeping right in front of the bin that holds those pipettes, and I don't want to disturb him. I'm being a nice cat owner, letting him nap right where I need to be. Okay, so this is pretty, but it is pulling up away from the paper in exactly the same way as the Liquitex varnish did. Maybe you can't varnish these the normal way. looks like maybe epoxy is the only option. I think my son has epoxy. Ooh, it is pulling some of the paint up. It's awful and terrible. Good thing I don't like this one as well. That's why I chose it. I did that on purpose. I was thinking ahead. Anyway, epoxy might be the only option. More of what not to do for your viewing pleasure. This is 2 sprays of the Kamar varnish, this one here, and it didn't bead up or anything like the others, so maybe it works. These probably don't even need varnished. I suspect they're pretty hardy. I wanted to try it anyway, but it didn't make the cardstock shiny like I had hoped. It just kind of put shiny spots on them instead, so that's kind of a bummer, but it's all good. Now I can make my little boogie guy, but I doubt my pens are going to work on this even so. Let's try it out real quick. I almost don't want to write on it. He's a perfect little guy with this crazy feather hat thing already, but maybe making this look like a disco ball. Nope. Well, maybe. Just don't press hard, okay? At least I can write on it now, but when I pressed hard right there, it kind of pulled some stuff up. To be careful about that. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna pull up a picture of a disco ball and maybe do some little diamonds in there or something. I don't know, it almost looks more like a superhero villain or something than a disco ball. Shoot. He's so cute, like a little animal guy. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna write on him. How are we gonna show him dancing? Or maybe he just is dancing already, like that's how he parties, right? Just like that, you know? I think I'm at least going to outline his hair a little bit. He has invisible legs, so we should probably do something about that. Let's zoom in on my favorite part, Monsieur Blob. He's so cute. Okay, I actually zoomed in. His teeth look really weird, but he's so cute. And just to absolutely 100% finish the SmartArt box, I stuck the sticker in my sketchbook and cut out one of my pieces that I didn't like the background of, but I liked the flower part itself. I have a lot to get done in this video. Remember the core indigo I picked up in my buy it, try it video. I've already referenced that in the corner. I poured a little bit of that in the pan and didn't get it on video for you, but I wanted to only pour the pan half full, but man, this stuff was very fluid, like very fluid. It just tried to flatten out super quickly, and I just stuck it on an incline for I guess it was just overnight most of today, and that's as tilted as I could get it. The reason I wanted to pour it only half full, give or take, is because then you could dilute some of it in the same pan without pulling it out onto your palette to get a diluted version of it, so it just would give you some space to do that. I thought that would be handy. I also need to redo this so this fits, and there's a couple of ideas. If you remember, my blues are a bit split here. You can see in my swatch sheet, I have these two blues up here, and you can call this teal a blue. These down here, and now I have the indigo. I'll be pulling these out. They're just on little Velcros, and redoing the order of these and including my indigo. I'm going to be redoing my swatch sheet as well using this Fabriano Artistico paper that I also got in the buy it, try it video. It's 100% cotton, and I thought it'd be a fun test of that. I did a massive reorganization of my palette, and I had to grab, I think, 2 or 3 new stickers, little Velcro stickers, and that was it. I have my palette cleaned up and my swatch sheet all done, laminated, corner rounded, and the whole works. And I think this will work a lot nicer. Now the colors are exactly where they are in the palette instead of straight like this, and I had to go like that. And the cool part is about this is I can use the whole middle space for mixing, for extra mixing. So just set it beside the palette along with the big lid that I have already for it, which is not clean. And I'm gonna leave it that way because I have a lot of paint left in there. And I can also flip it over and use the backside for mixing if I didn't want just this middle space. Oh, I love it. I think it's gonna work out really nicely. Back to this poor thing. The varnish just kind of played havoc with it. Nothing shiny that wasn't before, and you saw it. It smeared things. The little defect in the canvas that already was there is now even more apparent. I dug out the markers again, and I'm just gonna go back over a few things. You know, things like that by that bullet there need to be really clear. There's no reason to have black. There's just a few touch-ups, re-orange that, sign the name so it's brighter again, and clean that up where it's smeared. I've redone this painting and you can see that more of it is shiny than before. Some of the reflections are still dull. That's because the reflections are the only part that I did not go back over with just the paint marker itself. And just to refresh your memory, these are the paint markers that we used for this painting. So these are PBO oil-based, supposedly, but my oil varnish didn't work on them, as you saw. That's what these are. And so if I use just the marker, not the brush, and avoid the Gamsol, I get this nice shininess. So I still haven't sprayed this with the Kamar varnish. That's what I was gonna try this last time, but as shiny as it is with only the reflections being dull, I might keep it that way because I kind of like the reflections dull. I mean, the reflections being shiny would probably make more sense, you know, in reality, but I have to decide if I'm willing to sacrifice the painting again in case it messes it up. But decisions. That is probably something that I won't be able to tell you in this video because this has to dry for a couple of days before I can spray it with a varnish. But I did re-sign my name, so I tried it with the marker itself instead of a brush, so that's a bonus. And maybe in my next finishing things up video, I'll let you know how this goes and what it looks like framed, because I just realized I don't even have a frame for it, so I need to get that ordered or risk a trip to Walmart and see if I can find one. Phew. That was a busy weekend. We didn't get to finish the painting. I didn't get to use this because I couldn't find my big clips that would hold that block together, so that's still undone. We didn't use the sketchbook for the render, what is that, the bleed-proof sketchbook, or the marker pads that came with that. Didn't use the colored pencil paper because that's a huge commitment. All of that's more than I can do in just one weekend, but all of this was in just one weekend, so I think we did pretty good. Cool. I will see you in the next video. It's a fun one, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because we are going to be doing 2 paintings next video. Hit the like button on this one if you found any of this interesting. Thanks so much. See you soon. That one is still outside drawing. Looks like a rabbit. Talking today is good.